Let's talk about the word faith. We all think we know what it means, right? But what if its original meaning is something way more intense and honestly, a lot more political? Today, we're going to dig into how the transformation of this one little word pretty much shaped the entire world we live in. So, what if this whole idea of faith that we have today is kind of built on a historical misunderstanding? What if it had absolutely nothing to do with the ideas you hold in your head, but was actually about something you did, something public, and something that demanded everything from you? So, what if faith has always been about allegiance, about where your ultimate loyalty really lies? Once you see it that way, it changes everything. Seriously, by getting what faith originally meant, we get this whole new lens to look at everything: modern citizenship, secularism, and even the real source of some of our biggest political fights today. So, to really get to the bottom of this, we gotta jump in a time machine. We're going back to the first century to look at the original Greek word that we now translate as faith. All right, so the word is pistis. And back in the day, when it was being used in legal documents, in political speeches, even by guys like Aristotle, it had nothing to do with some abstract belief. It was a real concrete term. It meant a loyalty you were bound to by an oath. And this wasn't some Greek idea either. Its Latin counterpart, fides, was basically the bedrock of Roman society. It was the foundation for legal contracts. Think about the phrase bona fides. It literally means in good faith, and it was the exact term for a soldier's sworn loyalty to the emperor. It was a covenant, an obligation. So here's the crucial point. Pistis and fides were never about what you were thinking in private. Not at all. They were about what you did in public. It was allegiance shown to everyone through your action. Now, this is where it gets really fascinating. Early Christians grabbed this exact word, pistis, and when they use it, they're not just saying, hey, I've got some new ideas about God. Not at all. They were declaring allegiance to a different Lord, a different king. And that right there is why the Roman Empire suddenly sat up and paid very close attention. Rome could not have cared less what you believed in your head. But what they cared about was public actions, actions that showed your loyalty to the emperor and to the state. So when Christians started refusing to do these civic rituals, Rome didn't see it as simple disagreement. They saw it as treason, a direct threat to the entire imperial order. Because in that world, belief without obedience was totally meaningless. So if faith was originally all about public allegiance, how on earth did it all become this private internal thing we think of as of today? This timeline really lays out the whole journey. Well, it kicks off in the first century as public allegiance. Then boom, 4th century, the emperor, Constantine, makes Christianity the state religion. And all of a sudden, the empire needs everyone believing the same thing just to keep things running smoothly. Fast forward, and thinkers like Thomas Aquinas start defining faith as agreeing with a set of ideas. By the 17th century, John Locke helps build the foundation for the modern state by arguing faith is a purely private matter of conscience, and there you have it. Over hundreds of years, faith gets totally transformed. It moves from the public square right into your private mind. It becomes a psychological state, and that original powerful meaning, that structure of legal and civic allegiance, is almost completely forgotten. But here's the wild part. That original structure of allegiance never vanished away. It simply moved. It became the foundation of modern secular states. Here's what I mean. Just think about it. What does it mean to be a citizen today? You take an oath, right? You pledge your allegiance. You follow the laws, submitting to the state's authority, and you pay taxes, giving it material support. This is a modern secular version of pistis. It's a whole system of loyalty that's proven by your actions. This is the fundamental deal of modern secularism. You have the freedom to believe literally anything you want in private. You can doubt the government, you can criticize it, you can change your religion every single week. But the one thing you absolutely cannot do is declare that some other legal authority is sovereign over the state. This is the bottom line. The state protects your freedom of private belief, and in exchange, you give it your non-negotiable public allegiance to a sovereignty. Your beliefs are free, but sovereignty is not up for grabs. And this brings us right to the heart of so many of our modern conflicts. The friction, the sparks. They happen when these different systems of allegiances, based on these totally different definitions of faith, slam into each other. So on one side, you have the secular state. It demands your ultimate civic loyalty, but says your beliefs are your own business. And on the other side, you have belief systems that never actually forgot the original meaning. Systems where faith is still a total allegiance, where divine law is the ultimate sovereign, and where what you believe has to be shown through public action. So here's a really important takeaway. These clashes, they aren't really about culture or feelings or ethnicity. They're structural. You could almost say they're legal. It's a fundamental dispute over one question: who is the ultimate authority here? It's a conflict of divided allegiance. Understanding this one ancient word, pistis, just gives us a whole new framework. It helps us see that so many of our modern debates are not at all what they seem to be on the surface. So let's just nail this down one last time. Faith in its original context was never just a feeling or an opinion. It was loyalty. It was trust that you demonstrated and proved through what you did in one word. It was allegiance. And once you see this distinction that matters so much, our political debates shift. They stop being about feelings and about thoughts and differences of opinions and worldviews, and they become more about the fundamental question of sovereignty. Who gets the final say? Which leaves us with one very important question. In a world that makes so many competing claims on our loyalty to nations, to ideas, to our communities, to laws, it's a question we all have to answer for ourselves. So where is your ultimate allegiance? Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and I will see you soon.